Children, now we will begin with the non-minerals and energy resources, especially petroleum, after doing coal. So the word petroleum that has been derived by two Latin words, that is petrol and oleum, meaning oil. It's given on page number 185, which you people have already done. This chapter has been taught to you, but again, revision. So this petrol is the oil obtained from rocks, particularly sedimentary rocks. Therefore, it is called a mineral oil. So question can come that why is it called a mineral oil? Then uses of petroleum. The uses of petroleum, in which first will be it is revolutionized transportation on land, air, and water, because it saves a lot of expense as far as transportation is concerned. So, being a liquid, it can be easily transported from one place to the other through the pipelines, unlike coal. Then it emits very little smoke and leaves no ash, therefore, it can be termed as environment friendly, but then it is not, because wherever it is used, the smoke which is ejected by the vehicle or by the factories, industries, they give away a lot of pollution. So that cannot be taken as an advantage. But then the uses, of course, it provides the most important lubricating agent and is used as an raw material for various petrochemical products. You will do about this in the chapter industry. In fact, you must done it also. So the main source of many products are like so the other uses of petroleum is it is the main source of many products like petrol, kerosene and diesel oil, paraffin wax, Vaseline and benzene. It is used for making paints, medicine, plastic and fertilizers. Children, you can break these 2 points as 4 points. You can categorize it into 4 points. Then it is also most important raw materials for chemical industry. Now the distribution, it is divided as offshore and onshore oil fields. Offshore means in the in the ocean floor, the deposits are present, and onshore means on the land. So from the ocean floor, the oil is taken out through the pipes and then refined and sent to the various centers. And on the land, if it is present, then again it is taken out by through the pipes only and drilled out through the pipes and sent to the other centers through the pipelines. So offshore examples are Mumbai High, Bassein, Alia Bhatt, and onshore are Digboi, Nahar Katia, Rudrasagar, and Nunmati in Assam. In Gujarat, onshore will be Ankleshwar, Koyali, Kalol, Navgaon, and other important centers are also found. So this is the map which shows the production of coal, natural gas, petroleum, as well as petroleum refineries. Now we come to the important oil company, states and its location. Children, you will have to learn all these because it can come. One of the questions may be asked as where is Indian Oil Corporation Limited of West Bengal situated, or where is Haldia Indian Oil Corporation Limited, in which state is it situated? So then you will have to name West Bengal. Otherwise, which is the oil refinery center or the oil company which is found in Haldia or West Bengal? So this way it can be asked, so you will have to write the names. Learning the names are easy, but the location will be difficult. But if you do it state-wise, you will find that a number of common districts or the places will be common with the coal or any other natural gas or any other forms of energy. So you make a chart and write the common names so that it becomes easier for you to learn. These are the other centers. So there are 18 centers, oil companies in various states, which you will have to learn. And the oil refinery centers as a private sectors, Jamnagar is the most largest, in fact, in the world, and the others are named as follows. The Reliance Industrial Limited, another one is very, very important. Reliance Petroleum Limited, that is also important. So now we come to the next part is the list of oil fields in India. Onshore ones are in the northeastern region. The important ones are Digboi, Nahar, Katia, Rudra Sagar. Then in other ones are in Tirap district of Arunachal Pradesh. They are also present in Nagaland and Assam, Borbola. Then onshore oil fields, mainly Gujarat has many onshore oil fields like Ankleshwar and in the Khambat Basin, which is the largest field in the Khambat Basin, Kalol, Navgaon. These are the other important centers. And then in the southern India, it is in the Godavari Basin as well as the Kaveri Basin. Then it is also found in eastern coast of Krishna and Godavari Basin. The India's National Geographical Research Institute has found out that the eastern coast also has reserves of petroleum. Then offshore oil fields, I told you in Mumbai High, it was mentioned earlier only, and the name of the rig installed here is Sagar Samrat. Then the other important ones, the most important ones are the states of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Assam, Tamil Nadu, and Arunachal Pradesh. Then the other oil fields which are mentioned over here and the private ones are also mentioned. So that has already been done before. So now we start with the advantages of petroleum. So it is a fossil fuel and accumulates in porous to form fossils of uh, plants, animals, and other organisms. So they can be extracted easily by modern technologies and can be transported easily also through the pipelines. So these are the major advantages which I have underlined in the book. You will learn them and you add through the pipes. Then disadvantages, the A and the C part is the same because it is a non-renewable resource, and the first A part is also telling about that it is found in limited amount and it is exhaustible, so it is a non-renewable resource. Then the B part, that it is causes environmental pollution, and D is the depletion of the fossil fuel leads to limited supply of petroleum. So these are the important things. So generally it will be asked about the uses, the formation of petroleum, the examples of onshore fields, offshore fields. So these are the common questions which can be asked, and the uses, of course. So that brings to the end of petroleum. Now we'll come to the next part of the chapter, the last part of the chapter. So children, now we begin with nuclear power and nuclear energy, which is used to produce electricity. This is the picture of Tarapur Atomic Power Station, which was the first in India to be established. So the main raw materials used for generation of atomic energy is uranium, plutonium, beryllium and thorium. Uranium is available in the copper belt of Bihar and the rocks of Aravalli range in Rajasthan. Then it is also present in the Kerala coast of which contains thorium. It has to be, but thorium has to be converted in uranium to be used as a nuclear fuel. Although atomic or nuclear power contributes only about 3% of the total power generation, it has vast potential for future development. It requires technical know-how, and most of nuclear power stations have been constructed near the sources of water because it is required for cooling purpose, which is very important for the core of the nuclear plant. The first nuclear power station was developed in Tarapur in 1969, and the other plants are at Kalpakkam in Tamil Nadu, Rana Pratap Sagar in Kota, Na- Naro, Narora in Uttar Pradesh, and Kakrapara in Surat in Gujarat. Then there is a proposal for setting up nuclear power stations in Rawat Bhata in Rajasthan and the Kanga district of Kaiga district of Karnataka and Kudankulam district in Tamil Nadu. So these are the places, but the most important one is Tarapur Power Station. So the advantages of nuclear power would be that it reduces the amount of energy generated from fossil fuels, such as use of fossil fuel, less use of fossil fuel lowers the greenhouse emissions like the gases carbon dioxide and others, hence helps in reducing pollution. Less amount of fuel is required. The cost of nuclear fuel, that is overall uranium, is 20% of the cost of nuclear generated energy generated. The production of electric energy is continuous. It reduces the price of other fossil fuels like petrol and coal. It does not depend on natural aspects as in case of renewable resources like solar and wind, because if there is no sun, a strong sun, then no solar energy will be produced, and if the wind speed is not enough or less, then wind energy may not be produced also. But natural nuclear power does not depend on it, as it depends on the production or the raw materials like uranium and plutonium. So the alternative use of fossil fuel, it is an alternative to fossil fuel, so the consumption of fuels such as coal and oil can be reduced. And the reduction of coal and oil consumption benefits the situation of global warming and global climatic change by reducing pollution. Disadvantages can be on environmental impact because it is a big pollution hazard, because uh, disposed the waste which is disposed from these power stations, it is very dangerous as it is radioactive and it stays in the soil for a very long time. The waste produced by nuclear reactors needs to be disposed of at a safe place since it is extremely hazardous. If not stored properly, such kind of waste emits radiation from 10 to hundred of years. Nuclear accidents take place, then they have very adverse effect. Till date, Chernobyl is a place which is totally uninhabited because of the disaster which had took place in 1983. Nobody is settling there. Now the soil has become slightly pure out of its negative impacts or the results of the waste which has been thrown in that area. So it is very hazardous. Then it is the high cost. Nuclear energy and disposal of nuclear waste are very expensive. Uranium is finite and very expensive to mine, refine, as well as to transport. And it is used to make weapons. So if it is misused, then it can cause a lot of damage to life and property. So here we come to the end of nuclear power.